Hi Tammy. In this video, I'll show you a brief overview of our TimeClock application. So we'll first go through the settings where you can define different TimeClock policies and the general settings as well. So in the general settings, you can choose how time will be logged by the employees. So it can either be manually entered, so the clock in and clock in hours, or you can use the time clock icon where employees will have to click on it to log in to and then click on it again to log out. From here, you can also define IP and geolocation restrictions. So the IP restrictions will allow you to select the locations from which employees will be able to clock in and clock out, and they won't be able to clock in or clock out from any other ranges except the ones that you've defined. The geolocation restrictions work the same way. You can define the addresses and the radius in meters or feet on those addresses, and employees won't be able to clock in or clock out except from the listed addresses. In the policies section, you can create different policies for your employees. Each policy has a name, a description. You can define to whom the policy will be assigned using a set of assignment rules. So you can create policies specific for some departments, divisions, locations, positions, etc. And for each policy, you define your pay period. It can be weekly, every other week, twice a month, or monthly, as well as the start of that pay period, which will be previewed right below those settings. Then you can define the working days and hours for each policy. So you can select which, which are the work days in these policies and what's the maximum amount of hours that employees will work on those days. And also you can allow employees to clock in overtime or disable that option, but all overtime is considered non-billable hours. You can also set up a manual approval process for a policy, and the approvers will be the HR admins, so the administrators in the account, and then the employee's manager in that order. And these are the settings that can be defined for each policy separately. In the application itself, an employee under the overview will have their time clock information. So first, they'll be able to submit their working hours uh, by hitting submit. Of course, first they define them. They'll have an overview, so how much clocked hours they have, regular hours, overtime hours, and what are the billable hours. So remember that overtime is considered non-billable hours in the system. They'll have an overview of the recent 5 pay periods, as well as a calendar view where they'll be able to filter through the calendar and see where they have missing hours, where they have overtime. So get basically an overview in a calendar view. I'm currently logged in as the administrator, so I can see the pay periods for everybody, which is what you'll be able to see as an admin. So under the pay periods, you can filter them, preview them monthly. You can select the pay period that you're interested in. You'll get an overview of the number of clocked hours, regular hours, overtime, what are the missing hours, etc. And you'll have a list of all employees here and see the breakdown of their working hours. You can also select view and see the pay period for a specific employee and get a more detailed breakdown of the data for each workday. From here, you can also lock the pay period if you don't want employees to be able to edit it further, and you can also approve the timesheet once it's inspected and verified. You can also filter this view by policy, so you can show all policies or one of the policies you have created in the system to easily get the information that you need. And the last section of the Time Off app, it's My Timesheet, which will show you the timesheet uh, to each individual employee. So here they'll see their own timesheet for each day. When did they start? When did they end? And how many clocked hours do they have? And if you allow them overtime, they'll have a breakdown of regular hours and also overtime hours. They'll be easily They'll easily be able to tell if they have some missing hours as well, and then they can correct it by editing that specific day and add the missing hours as well. In this view, they can also hit one of these breakdown boxes like clocked hours or regular hours, and the app will show only those values so they can quickly filter and see the information that they need to see. And that's also something you can do on the pay period as well. So whenever you see these boxes with the breakdown, you can click on them and then the app will show you those values. Under My Timesheet, the employee will also have the ability to go back and select any other pay period in the past and inspect it as well. Once they've edited their timesheet, when they added all their working hours and they're sure that everything is correct, they can also go ahead and lock this pay period themselves, which will disable further editing, of course. So this is a brief breakdown of a time clock application. Please feel free to reach out if you have any further questions. Thank you for watching.